In the last section, we put some keys onto each list item to make sure that React can update the appropriate record in a speedy fashion. Now, don't get me wrong, for a list of five items, the performance increase is like sub-milliseconds here, but it's a really good practice to get into to make sure that you always add a key. In this section, we're going to focus more on making the list of videos look a lot better than they do currently. Right now, we just have a bulleted list and it just says, video. We don't have any idea what the actual video is right now. To do so, we're going to be doing a little bit of work on our video list item. Now, right now, we have our props object. Let's go ahead and define a new variable, const video, to pull off the video from the props object. Remember, inside a video list, when we created our video list item right here, we passed in the video as property video. So to get access to the video inside of video list item, we have to say props.video. Okay, so this right here definitely works. This will retrieve the video, but we can use a little bit of ES6 syntax here to give us a slightly different way of pulling off this video property. Rather than declaring this separate line, I'm going to comment this for a second, and I'm going to delete the props argument, and instead I'm going to put in curly braces and then video. Doing this right here, curly braces with video, is completely identical to const video equals props.video. All it does is it says the argument, this first object in the arguments array up here, has a property video. Please grab that video and declare a new video or a new variable called video. So the two of them are totally identical. It's another nice little ES6 bit of syntax for cleaning up your code just a little bit here. Okay, I am a little bit curious. What is going on inside of a video? Let's go ahead and console log this and see what data that we have to play around with. So I'm going to save, we'll refresh, and we get one console log for each video item. So let's look at one of these. So we have the E tag, which we already saw. We have an ID, which has a video ID. We'll need this later. And we've got a snippet. And the snippet shows some thumbnails, which are good, a title, and a description. So the only property that we really care about in here is the snippet object. This is what we really want to get at. Okay, I'm going to back over in video list item. I'm going to remove the console log, and we're going to go ahead and add a whole bunch of markup into this component here to whip the thing into shape. So let's put this on a new line, remove the semicolon. There we go, looks good. Okay, so like I said previously, we do get Bootstrap for free in this project here. So we're going to use some Bootstrap classes. You can reference the Bootstrap docs if you want to know exactly what each of these classes do, but really it's just going to kind of pretty up our video list item here a little bit. We're going to type out a whole bunch of markup here, and so we're just going to kind of charge through it a little bit, and then we'll talk about what each of these elements are doing. So let's get to it. This is going to be a pretty decent amount of typing. Let's just do it. So first off, our li at the top is going to have a class name, list, group, item, and then inside we'll add a div, and the div will have a class name of video list space media. Make sure you get that space in there. And then inside of the div, we'll have another div with a class name of media left. And inside of that div, we'll have an image tag, the class name of media object. And then we'll do a self-closing tag on the image because nothing's going to go inside of the image tag. Okay, so we've got our media left right here. Now, as a sibling to it, we'll do a div with a class name of media body. And we'll do inside of that another div with class name media heading. Okay. So basically we've got a top level li, and then we've got a div with two children, one of which is media left, the other is media body. Make sure as you're going through here that you aren't accidentally typing class. You should have class name for all the class names in here. I make this typo all the time. I always end up doing class instead of class name, and basically you just end up getting an error over in your terminal. So if you start making some changes and you don't see anything popping up, check your terminal over here. You might have made a little typo. All right, let's go ahead and save this just to make sure we don't have any typos. Let's do a refresh. We should get, yep, something that looks like this right here. We don't have any content just yet, so we'll just have an empty list to get started. So the template that we have has space for an image, like a thumbnail, and a heading, media heading, so like the title of the video. We already saw the properties that we need to get access to the image, like a thumbnail for the video and the title of the video as well. So let's pull those off of the video object right now. At the top, we'll say image URL. So we'll look at the video.snippet.thumbnails.default.url. And there's really no magic to this. This is just part of the response that's coming back from YouTube. So it does give us an image URL though, which is going to be very useful for our image tag down here. We'll use this image tag to show a thumbnail of the video. To do so, we'll just declare an image source, just like if we were using normal HTML. So I'll write src, curly braces, image URL. Curly braces, of course, because we're referencing a JavaScript variable inside of our JSX. And then we'll do the same thing for the title of the video as well. We'll do curly braces video.snippet.title. Okay, let's save this and see what we got. All right, so the text is gigantic, but it's looking pretty good. We've got our title of a video and a thumbnail for each one, and we got 5 of them. Since our default search over in index.js is for the term surfboards, we're seeing content in surfboards over here. If you want to see some different content, you could change this default search term, but in a little bit, we'll go ahead and wire up the search input at the top here as well. All right, let's get started working on the main video player section in the next section. Catch you there.